Thank you to everyone here, right? You're here tonight supporting us. 27 tables is the most we've ever had at this event. Thank you for being there November 9th for the second time this year when we took down the Western Mustangs. Thank you for many of you being there. Thank you for being there and one of 5,000 to 6,000 people, Laurier Golden Hawk fans, that decided on Saturday, November 23rd, that you needed to be in Kingston celebrating this team. Thank you for that. So how did we get there despite having the best quarterback in the country? I can tell you a little side story, and this will kind of show why we have the ability to do the things we have the ability to do. And it starts actually over there looking at those trophies. Today, believe it or not, is only the third time those trophies have been out of the cases that we received them in. And a little side story is Thursday, January 9th was our first team meeting for the 2025 Laurier Golden Hawks. And I came into the first team meeting of January, and I told the guys, here's what we're going to do, strength and conditioning, all of this. And I said, guess what, guys? I actually already know on Thursday, January 9th, what our biggest obstacle this season is. And I don't have to wait till we open training camp August 8th. I don't have to wait till halfway through the regular season or till we hit the playoffs in October, November. Our biggest obstacle I know now. Thursday, January 9th, and it isn't Laval Rouge et Or, it ain't the Western Mustangs, it isn't Carleton, it isn't Guelph. It's everything we just did in 2024. So that's why those trophies have been locked up. And I went on in that meeting to say, you're going to have great opportunities to buy T-shirts and buy Yates Cup sweaters, and many of you, no fault of your own, you're super proud, are going to buy Yates Cup rings. Just know this about your head coach. I never have and I never will buy any of that stuff, and I never have and I never will wear any of that stuff. I live where my feet are and I look ahead. And anytime we're together as a team, we will be where our feet are and we will look ahead. Right? So that's kind of the mantra. But I did say at the end of that meeting, there are 3 occasions where we will celebrate what we did in 2024. One being our team banquet in January, one being at the athletic banquet in April, and the last time those trophies will come out of the case, and the last time we'll talk about everything we did that was so great, pat ourselves on the back in 2024. We'll be at the Legends Gala on May 1st, and here we are to celebrate it right now. I'm excited for you, Legends. Really happy and honored to celebrate all your successes. You could see it with the pride and the purple on November 9th, on November 23rd. You could see what the tradition and the history and the community here, and you were a big part of that. I'm not going to go through a long list of thank yous. I think Deb and Kate did a great job of those. 2 people I am going to single out because we do have the largest coaching staff in the country, but I'll single out 2 of them, Coach Ron Van Moorkirk and Coach Todd Galloway. I said this at the youth sports banquet when we had the privilege of winning Staff of the Year. I said is the brain trust. Them and their army of coaches underneath them. I'm just hired to say pregame speeches and try to get the guys riled up. They truly are the brain trust. So Phil, if we can go through some of these slides right now. The one thing that comes to mind when I look at this slide right here is actually events like tonight, and Kate put out an ask. I stood up here last year and said in 2023 we played 11 football games. We won 9 of them, we lost 2 of them. The 2 to the dreaded Western Mustangs. Why? We weren't as strong and as big as we needed to be up front and in the trenches. So what did we do? We were intentional through our off season, through the season, of knowing exactly how much weight we were going to gain. So I kid you not, we weighed ourselves in training camp every single week, all the way to the Yates Cup in 2023. We significantly lost weight. We were intentional this year, and I brought it up in the first training camp meeting. Every single day we got to check our weights. We've got to be stronger and bigger and tougher for when we get to the big games like the Yates Cup and the Vanier Cup, and we did that. The next slide is the UTEC Bowl. What I remember about this is us having to travel out to Lennoxville, Quebec, which is a tiny town. Many of you tried to find a hotel for it. Try finding a hotel where you need 75 rooms for players, coaches, and staff. So we had 2 stops on the way there, one in Cornwall, one in Granby, Quebec, which is actually about an hour from Lennoxville. And sure enough, U Sports gave us the 12 o'clock game. So we had to wake the boys up early. Half of them slept most of the way to Lennoxville. We're arriving in enemy territory. It's all farmers' fields around there. We pull into the Bishop's campus. We see the field. We see the athletic center. And we see a crowd of people huddled in a parking lot. And we see purple, but it's Bishop's purple, and they're silver. It's not that. It's our purple and our gold. Our parents group, our parents council, we're there having some fun drinks. We're barbecuing. So thank you, parents group, for all of your support. You made that day a home game for us. We received a lot of accolades this year. We had a lot of OUA All-Stars. We had a lot of All-Canadians. Again, I tell the guys in training camp, ego is the enemy. We're going to try to win more football games, and in doing so, the teams that win the most football games have the most personal accolades. So we had a lot of award winners. We had a very special receiver this year. We have some special receivers in here. Corey Grant is a legend going in tonight. I see Andy Beckler. I think Dante Luciani might be here tonight. We've had Shamad Chambers, Curly Gittins Jr., Stefan Potasek, Andre Talbot. The list goes on and on. Only one has had 1,000 yards in a season, and that's Ethan Jordan, who's now an Ottawa Red Black. And then Mr. Wonderful Taylor Elgersma was our second Heck Crichton winner here at this beautiful institution, 30 years after Bill Kubis won it in 1994. And Taylor right now, I think it's pretty rude of him. He would rather be at Green Bay minicamp than be here with us here tonight celebrating. But Taylor's done very well, as you know, so he's at Green Bay minicamp right now. He goes to Buffalo minicamp next week, and he was obviously drafted by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers on Tuesday night. Senior Team Canada team. So we have 2 players playing, former players, James Florisson and Tommy Baringi. The last time Team Canada had a senior team, a lot of Laurier ties to it. I was the quarterback in the game. Anthony Magiacomo was a linebacker. Receivers Shamad Chambers and Dante Luciani were on that team. And we had the privilege of playing for Team Canada and going overseas to Austria. These guys have the privilege, and as Kwaku terms it, they're going to Edmonton, Alberta for their tournament. But we're really proud of both James and Tommy for all of their accomplishments and wearing the Canadian colors. The next slide is our Beyond February. So I wanted to touch on this and actually give a shout out to Dave Morrissey. Many of you see these features coming out on our social media accounts, and I challenge you to look at these features. But we're super proud of our diversity here as a football program. It really does separate us from a lot of programs, and we thought to ourselves in the middle of COVID, let's not just use the shortest month of the year, February, like a lot of corporations, like a lot of athletic departments, and check off that box of I posted something for Black History Month. Right? We're proud of our current student athletes, Black student athletes, our former Black student athletes. So we thought, why not go beyond February? In fact, February only has 28 days. Let's on the 29th day of every month not named February showcase one of these outstanding student athletes. So thank you for reading those features, and continue to read those features on the 29th day of every month. Many of our guys are going off to the East-West, so exciting time for them. Myself, Coach Brendan McCracken, and then we've got 6 of our players going off to the East-West, and that's across the street at the University of Waterloo. Those wanting to attend the game, that is Saturday, May 10th. Next slide. Drafted. So as many of you would have seen on Tuesday evening, Taylor Elgersma, as I mentioned, went 18th overall to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And then we're going to continue on with Ethan Jordan and Jaden Griffiths being teammates. They're now members of the Ottawa Red Blacks. And I think it's very fitting, having just seen the East-West page. We all know Ethan Jordan. We all know Taylor Elgersma and all their stats and all of that. But Jaden Griffiths, number 33, standing in the back, was not invited to East-West. last year. He was not invited to the National Combine this year. But talk about being where your feet are and looking ahead. Jaden does this in the weight room every day. He does this in meetings. He really exemplifies what it is to be process-driven. And as a result, he heard his name called just like the others, which is amazing. In terms of our recruiting class, it's in your pamphlet, an outstanding recruiting class coming in. And the beautiful thing, how we're built now as a program, we're not forced to play 18-year-olds. Right? And you see the landscape of U Sport football, the Lavals, the Montreals, us in Western, UBC, Saskatchewan. The teams that play the least 18-year-olds are usually the most successful. The teams that play more 22, 23, Laval 27, 28 are the most successful teams. So these guys will come in here, they're going to learn from our outstanding coaching staff, they're going to get trained in strength and conditioning, all of that, and when their time is right, they will be ready. And last but not least is our schedule this year. So I challenge all of you to come out to the games. You had a lot of fun at the Yates Cup. You had a lot of fun at the Vanier Cup. Pick a couple other games throughout the season to come out and watch this talented squad. Right? As always, we're going to try to go 1-0 each and every week. We're not looking ahead. We're not circling Western at the end of the schedule. What do we need to do to go 1-0 each and every week? You saw the new scoreboard. You saw the new lights. You saw the new field last year. We're going to have proper stands and bleachers this year, so come out and see our Hawks. They really deserve it. One last congratulations to our legends, and I was told to back up for this. Go Hawks, go!